I've talked to you about curious, looking for alternatives to expand your options, and adaptable, being emotionally and mentally flexible to new experiences and change. And all that's been about evolving to an I can mindset. Let's talk about the present element of Capo. Scott and his wife had a dream of traveling the world. They sold everything they owned but the packs on their backs and started following the warm climates around the world. On their blogs, I remember seeing photos and videos of them hiking, swimming, and enjoying tea on their Airbnb patio, overlooking the city of the week, and enjoying people everywhere they went. They learned to cook the local cuisines and dance the local folk dances. They were living life to its fullest. About 8 months into their year-long adventure, Scott decided to add his lifelong dream of scaling Mount Kilimanjaro to their trip. So he and his wife Chelsea went back to Italy's Amalfi Coast to train, taking advantage of the vertical terrain between the shore and the towns that were high on the cliffs to build their climbing muscles and stamina. Next, off to Tanzania to buy the gear they'd need to survive the cold mountain environment they'd be trekking for the week. They were ready. Several days later, I got news Scott had been killed in a rock slide. He was behind Chelsea, then he wasn't. She ran to his side and held him as he died. Once home, she had a lot to do. Put people in place to run the company, arrange for his funeral, and start figuring out what life was going to look like without this man she'd loved for the past 14 years. She was left to face her new reality with her grief, fear, and uncertainty. She listened to counselors, friends, and family as they told her to just get through the first year, endure it. But that advice went against the grain of what she and Scott believed and lived. She wasn't willing to be passive. She recognized that she could look at what she had, the past, fixate on what she didn't have, the future, or accept where she was, the present. She made the choice to be okay and to live from her heart. After all, that's what she and Scott were all about, living from the heart. She had believed that her mind could dream big, but came to see that nothing is as expansive as the heart. The mind is limited to 5 senses, but the heart has no bounds. She chose gratitude over grief, to live in the present with her boundless heart. Chelsea had to raise her vibrations to make those choices. That is being present. Can you imagine thinking your way through grief like that? For Chelsea, there wasn't really any other choice if she wanted to honor her life with Scott. She had to be open and present to living her life differently as she had when he was alive. This example of being present leads me to the open element of Capo.